Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant for Hunt Her, Kill Her, a low budget actioner about a woman on a night shift and a bunch of guys who show up and try to hunt her. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So this woman has a gig at a warehouse somewhere, and she cleans up after the during on the night shift when nobody else is there, and her job is to clean the place up and lock up at night, and she's got to deal with some of the employees who straggle in late, mess the place up, and then she notices that a lot of people sometimes stay late, and then one night she gets locked in the warehouse with a bunch of guys in masks who decide to hunt and kill her. So this is a perfect setup for a low budget film, because then they could just shoot in the warehouse and the whole thing shot in the warehouse, and that's what it's all about. Her various clever ways to escape and kill or turn the tables on her hunters. Hunt Her, Kill Her. It's a good title. Good concept. Let's see. Read these. Written by Greg Swinson. I think I know that name. Directed by Greg Swinson and Ryan Thiessen. I think I've seen these guys before. The names sound very familiar. They are not in the cast. No. So it's not that low budget, but pretty low budget. It's from Trauma One Entertainment. Are they related to Trauma Films? I'm going to guess no. Maybe that's a division. I mean, they had some success, maybe. I like it. I like it. It's a serious movie, serious horror movie, and it's a good premise. Because you can imagine a setup like this. You know, she needs a job. She's a young woman. She takes this gig. It's a night shift, some warehouse somewhere. It's just a lonely gig. People have these jobs. And, the opening of the trailer's like the boss telling her what she has to do. And then basically one other snippet of dialogue where she asks, is there anybody else who works there? No, nobody else is there. But obviously, yeah, there are. These maniacs show up and try to kill her. So, yeah, solid premise. I like your lead actress too. Again, this is a low budget feature. I'm not trying to throw shade at the actress, but she looks like a normal average person. I think sometimes when Hollywood does these movies, they get cast somebody who's too glamorous, and I'm not saying she's unattractive. I'm just saying, like, she looks like a person who could work at a warehouse. She looks like an average person. I'm not saying she's unattractive. I'm just saying she's not like movie star. She's not like Scarlett Johansson, right? That would be the movie, and then that would be unrealistic because she'd be too glamorous for the job unless they somehow dumbed down her look to a degree. She has the right look for it. She looks like a regular person. Again, I'm not saying she's unattractive. And these guys just come into the warehouse and they figure, we're just gonna. Now it's kind of a maniac movie, which I don't like in general. Hopefully, there's another layer to this other than they're going to kill her. Like they're gonna rob the warehouse, and they decide as long as they're there, they're gonna have some fun, and they're gonna kill her right before they rob the place or steal whatever the hell's there, or maybe they're gonna take it over. I don't know if it's these guys. Maybe it's that, and maybe it's them, or maybe that's just more setup for the movie. It could very well be the same actors. Let's see, is there no other info. I like it. So first act, probably she shows up, she's starting a job. The owner shows her the job. Seems pretty straightforward. You learn, like this feels like a bit of a 70s movie, so you learn a little bit about the warehouse, just enough that later when in the movie when it comes back, you go, oh, I remember that. In the beginning of the movie, she had to clean up at the elevator there or whatever. So you learn about the various things that are in the warehouse, maybe, that will come into play later. And she's just sweeping up and doing what she does, right? And then maybe you get a little taste of her home life. She goes home and, oh, how's the new jobs? Oh, it's a little boring, but, I ran into these guys who, late at night, and they weren't supposed to be there, but they were, and, they work in the warehouse, and they caused me a little bit of problem, but I'm going to ignore it. And you kind of like isolate her, right? So then, second act, maybe the next week she's there, or the second time she's there, she's cleaning up, and all's going well. Maybe she's still having trouble with the other guys who linger in the warehouse, but it doesn't really matter. That's just a lot of life. She's got this job and has to deal with them and whatever. And next thing you know, she starts hearing noises. She sees guys, hears voices, tries to get out, realizes they've locked up the place, and now they're hunting her to kill her. And they've decided maybe they're going to kill her because they don't want anybody to know they've taken over the warehouse for some reason. Maybe it's the sort of thing where the owners aren't going to come back for a long time, and they'll be able to spend time to clean the place out or take it over or whatever. So now it's a hunt, right? So it's all about her sneaking around the warehouse, trying to get away from these guys. Maybe she gets injured. But at some point, she uses her knowledge of the warehouse, because she does work there, to avoid them. Now, she's desperate to turn the tables. At some point, she tries to escape or call the police. Doesn't work. Tries to get back to the room, maybe where her phone is. They thwart her for a few times. Then at some point, she picks up a weapon, maybe kills one of them, or horribly injures him. And now they're like madder, and they're going to really kill her. Maybe she knocks out the one, takes his mask, right? Switches places. Or maybe she unmasks him and realizes, oh, it was one of the guys who worked there. And that's a bad thing. And so it's about her versus the four guys, and her trying to use her knowledge and intelligence to outwit them. And it could go either way, but I think she wins. In a low-budget horror movie, it could go, she dies in the end. She beats all the guys, but still manages to die anyway. That could be a dark ending. I wouldn't go with that. I don't think the movie makers went with that. I think the ending of this is she gets horribly injured, but she kills the last guy at the end, just barely. And, she manages to escape. And then, I don't know what the denouement would be in this. Like, maybe she has nightmares about the guy, or, I don't know, it was some sort of setup from the beginning. Maybe those guys paid the boss to hire a girl so they could hunt her, and now she's turned the table, and she's killed his clients, and now he's going to hire her for a different job, but he's going to set her up for the same thing, maybe, and then it leads to a sequel, Hunter Killer 2, Electric Boogaloo. Anyhow, I like the premise, I like the lead, I like the movie, so I would see this. It's probably going straight on demand. Don't see a theatrical release for this, but possibly limited. It's a low budget affair. I could see this going on Amazon or someplace like that. Shudder might pick it up, someplace like that. It says coming soon, so they may not have distribution yet. But I like the logo. I like everything about this movie. Exceptionally unnerving, tense, and exceptionally tense and unnerving. Maxwell does movies. Yeah, it looks good. Looks solid. Looks like it's going to be about the character being clever, as opposed to, a bunch of nonsense about, oh, I had a lot of trauma in my life and I have to overcome it. No, I want to see a character be smart. I want to see characters at the height of their intelligence. And this looks like that kind of movie. So sign me up. Hunter Killer. Coming soon. Brutal and intense. Janel Spiegel, horrornews.net. Coming soon. to a computer screen near you. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Thanks to everybody who came out to the Guild Memorial Library in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Had a great time. Sold a bunch of books. Can't thank the librarians enough. They were so sweet. And I'll probably be back at some point in the future. I got a tour of the upstairs where all their ghosts were hanging out, and all the historical stuff. It's a great town for history. Check me out tomorrow during the live stream. I'm going to push it back to 8 because of the Super Bowl. I'm going to a Super Bowl party. I'm not staying for the whole thing, but I need to give myself a little breather room. So look for me, 8 o'clock for the Sunday live stream. We will be talking about box office and all the usual Hollywood nonsense. Hope to see you there, and we'll see you